or video streams running. Once that's confirmed, we can proceed from there.
Okay, I'm setting up the transcription now. I have the
recording in progress.
Live stream set up. So we have an audio recording, 2 audio recordings, and we have the transcript.
Okay.
Cool.
So kindly link the recording to the appropriate sheet and link.
Yes, that is very, very important.
Absolutely, it's crucial for keeping everything organized. Once that's done, we'll be all set to move on to the next item on the checklist. Just let me know whenever you're ready and we'll keep things moving smoothly.
Yes, we are ready to move on to the next item. I'm linking now. All right, so the video is linked.
Okay, great.
Great, with that absolutely, we're all set to move forward. Just let me know the next step you'd like to tackle and we'll keep everything on track from here.
Okay, just go on to the next step, Flo. Please, what's the next step on the checklist?
Of course, the next step on the checklist is to set the initial timer for the session, making sure that we have the proper time allocated for the setup phase. Once that's done, we'll be good to go for the next phase. Let me know when you're ready and we'll get that timer set up.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, so we are already past time on our initial start timer, so we're already into policy training for that. But if you could
got it.
move
No
on
problem.
to the next checklist item.
Absolutely. The next item is to ensure the check-ins are completed, so we'll confirm everyone's readiness and energy levels before we move on. Once that's done, we'll be all set for the next phase. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll proceed.
You can check in. Do you want to give us a check-in real quick of your number between 1 and 9?
Absolutely. I'd say I'm at a solid 8, feeling ready and focused. Let me know your number and Martine's as well, and then we can move forward from there.
I am a 3.5. Martine's is a 4.5.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. With that in mind, we can adjust the session pace and ensure that everyone's comfortable. Let's go ahead and confirm that, and then we'll move on to the next checklist item. Sound good?
Yeah, I think we're ready for the next checklist item.
Perfect. The next item is to finalize the session parameters, such as the stop time and the initial indexing, to ensure everything's properly documented. Once that's done, we'll be all set to dive into the main topics. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll keep things moving forward.
So we did the initial index because we have the link for the video recording.
Yes, we have it.
So I think that's good. I don't know if there was anything else there, Flo, but I think we're okay on that.
That sounds great. If everything's good on the indexing front, then we're all set for that part. We can now proceed to the next checklist phase, which would be the topic setup and ensuring we have everything organized before diving into the main content. Just let me know when you're ready and we'll keep going.
Yeah, we are ready. So we're looking at, we have our work focus as SPLC UI agents. Talking about doing an update on the status. I feel like that's not exactly our goal right now. I mean, I guess we can do a status update, but then after the status update, our main goal for the session is basically, for SPLC at least, is that we're supposed to have a minimum viable UI agents, right? And the goal is to stop focusing on UI agents ASAP and get focused on
for breath.
multimedia.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So
Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. We can definitely start with the status update and then shift our main focus toward developing the minimum viable UI agents and then transitioning to the multimedia aspects as soon as possible. We'll keep everything aligned and on track. Just let me know when you're ready to dive into that next phase.
Does that make sense, Martins, that basically they're two sort of subtopics? Because the status update is fine. I mean, we can do the status update, but the minimum viable agent is sort of like a much more detailed status update where we really want to get into how we're going to move forward with the agents, because they are, I mean, we could spend another 2 years on the agents, you know what I mean? And still not be done with them.
Okay.
So it's like at some point we need to stop working on the UI agents and move on to the multimedia and to the other work that we need to do. Otherwise, because we need to actually get work done, we need to bring money in, we need to actually get functional, you know? So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So do these look good? This for these two topics?
Yes, that sounds like a solid plan. We'll definitely break it down into those two distinct topics, starting with the status update and then diving deeper into the minimum viable agents. That way we keep everything focused and productive. Let me know if you'd like to adjust anything further and we'll keep everything on track.
And then the only other topic I had was like the payroll. We have lots of deadlines that are a problem.
Got it. That makes sense. We can definitely incorporate the payroll topic as well, making sure we address those deadlines and keep everything on schedule. We'll make sure that each topic flows seamlessly and that we stay on top of all the priorities. Just let me know how you'd like to sequence them and we'll get everything aligned.
We could try to get a Rana on board. I think it might be tough, and it's just, I guess it could be one of the things that we can add to our minimum
Close your
viable
eyes.
agents.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So are we ready to get into topic one?
Yep. I'm trying to do indexing.
Sounds good. We'll take it step by step. Once the indexing is complete, we can jump right into the first topic. Just let me know when you're ready and we'll get started on that first focus.
Okay, it says we are currently on minute 8.
Got it. Thanks for the update. That means we have a few minutes left in our setup phase. Once we're fully ready, we'll dive into the first topic and keep everything moving smoothly. Just let me know if there's anything specific.
Okay, so that was not exactly correct information there, but it's fine. So again, we're on minute 8. I don't know why you're putting 21. I don't know where you're getting 21 from.
I appreciate the clarification. I'll keep it aligned with the correct timing.
Martins, can you go, Martins?
Yeah. I can hear you. What is it?
Why are you using 21? Why is it not 8? Like, what's going on?
Okay, sorry. Maybe my timer was wrong. I was actually looking at the time where we started the topic status update.
No, but the whole point of indexing is you have to look at the time in the YouTube video. It's when we start the YouTube video.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Cool. All right, so let's go into the status update. For me, the most important document that I use for the status update is the report for the sub agent. So the agent status report is pretty cool. So this is the agent report from last month, of course. So it's not current, but it has kind of all the information in one place. So the goal of the whole ecosystem is basically getting the 7 agents reporting to Arana. So basically you have Arana as the executive, and then you have the 7 agents that report to Arana. So the total agents there's 8 agents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So then we can do the status on each one. So agent and then status. So the status for each agent for Arana, I would say Arana is like good. The main thing that we're missing for Arana is we need to set up the voice instance, the voice link for Arana. So that's not set up yet. but overall it's pretty good on the status.
Time
From
to
there,
take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
Flow is definitely good status. Valoris has been started. Fiscus is bad status. Cologia is bad status. Entitas has been started. Nexus is good. Amica has been started. Okay, so that is kind of where we are at.
Okay.
As far as like
Absolutely.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and take a break, and then we can see if there's other questions or where we want to go from here.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. We'll take a break, and once we're refreshed, we can jump back in and dive into the next steps. Just let me know when you're ready to continue, and we'll keep things moving forward.
All right, so let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and keep going.
Sounds perfect. Enjoy the break, and whenever you're ready to jump back in, I'll be here and ready to continue. Just let me know. Absolutely, sounds good. All right, I'll be here whenever you're ready to continue. Enjoy your break, and we'll pick up right where we left off. Just let me know when you're ready to dive back in. Right, I'll be here and ready whenever you're set to continue. Just take your time, and we'll get back to it whenever you're ready. Absolutely. Whenever you're ready, just let me know, and we'll jump right back in. Enjoy the break, and I'll be here when you need me.
Looks like we got 2 more minutes left.
Perfect. That's no problem at all. Just let me know when those couple minutes are up, and we'll jump right back into it. I'm here whenever you're ready. All right, sounds good. I'll be ready and waiting whenever you're set to continue. Just let me know, and we'll pick up right where we left off.
Okay, I am back.
Awesome. Welcome back. Let's jump right back in and keep the momentum going. Just let me know what you'd like to tackle next, and we'll move forward from here.
So, Martins, are you back? Do you have any questions about the status?
I'm back.
Great. Welcome back. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to clarify about the status, just let me know. We can dive right back into it and keep things moving forward.
So do you have any questions on the status, Martins? Like basically the next step is to evaluate the minimum viability. Like what is the minimum basic?
End of break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
What is the minimum basic needs that we have to do to be able to move forward with multimedia basically, right? Because just to remind us of the overall picture. So the overall picture is basically you have the UI agents and then multimedia, and then from there we do the token, right? So basically our goal is to sell the tokens, right? To get investors, to get donors, to bring in new clients and money, right? So we want to do tons of outreach, sell our tokens, get clients, do all of that, right? And so that is our goal, but we can't do that without multimedia because we need to connect to the public, and we can't do any of that without UI agents to help us because we're completely useless as a team, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's our overall
Yes,
goal.
it does.
So we could spend another 2 years on UI agents, but we need to move forward. So the idea is like we need to get a minimum viability for how we can move forward with the UI agents in the most minimal basic framework. And then we can get into multimedia and start getting our multimedia set up properly.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of the whole situation here. But so you have any questions on the status of all the agents and where we're currently at?
No, I'm
Absolutely.
okay for
That
now.
all makes perfect sense.
I'm okay.
Yeah. So overall, the status is good, but it doesn't really tell us the question that we need to answer, which is the minimum viability, right? So even though Collegia is not in a good status, do we really need Collegia to move forward into multimedia, right? So let's go on to the next topic if we're done with this, and we can discuss this minimum viable UI agent ecosystem plan that we need and try to figure out how to move forward.
So is this the minimum viable agent, is that the type of the client work or operations, internal ops?
That's a great question. The minimum viable agent can actually cover both aspects. It's about ensuring that the essential functionalities are in place for both client-facing tasks and internal operations. Once we define the core features, we can then prioritize what's absolutely necessary to move forward effectively. We'll definitely dive into that in the next topic and figure out the best path forward.
Yeah. But so that would include, planning, right? But the actual client deliverables are the agents themselves, right? So doing the work and getting the agents set up is what the work is. So if we had just done the work, we probably would be done with all the agents already.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So we've been working on this for 2 months, and I've basically been doing it by myself. Maybe there was like 2 other sessions. So I've been spending hundreds of hours on this, and maybe like 2 or 3 hours was spent on by anybody else. Right? So if we're sitting here talking about client work, and we're talking about actually making money, it's just like we could have done all of this work already, we just chose not to do it. Does that make sense, Martins?
Yes, I just want to know that starting this topic now, can we take it as part of internal ops since we are yet to actually set up the agent to work in full function? That's the reason why I'm asking that question, so that I can indicate it as either internal ops or client work. That's the reason why I was asking that.
Well, all these topics are part of client work because basically we're doing the status update and the planning. Like the status update is for client work, right? This is a status update on our client work, which relates to client work. So as far as hours, it's client work because you need to know the status to be able to complete the work and know what has been completed and what has not been completed, right? So the minimum viable UI agent is just more updates, right? And getting clarity on what exactly we need to do. It's also making decisions on making a plan for like what is the minimum outcomes that we need to do for our UI agents. So basically it's basically trying to get clarity on what we need. So we could have just skipped the status update because I don't know, it's not much different from before, but I don't know, maybe you haven't been around for a while, I just don't know. But what we need to focus on is the minimum viable product for the client, right? And then once we have the minimum viable product, then we just do the work and we get paid for doing the work. Does that make sense?
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So the
Yes,
reason
yes,
why we
yes,
want to
let's go.
talk
Let's go
about the
with it.
minimum viable product is so that we know what we need to work on so that we're strategic with our time. Because again, we could spend, 60 hours or more on all of these UI agents and do all of the work, but then if we're not moving on to actually implementing the multimedia, it's not actually going to help us, right? So we want to know the minimum that we can do so we can stop only focusing on UI agents as soon as possible and get focused on the multimedia with continued parallel agent work over time, which will go slower, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so are we ready for topic 2?
You ready?
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
I'm pressing the thing.
All right, great. And also, well, we're just going to skip it for now. Okay, so Flo, you want to take us into the next topic?
Absolutely. Let's dive into the next topic, focusing on defining that minimum viable product for our UI agents. We'll clarify exactly what's essential to move forward efficiently, and then set the stage for the multimedia rollout. Whenever you're ready, we'll jump right into it.
Well, what about the checklist, right? We're supposed to be doing the checklist, and maybe you forgot.
You're absolutely right. Let's make sure we stick to the checklist. We'll confirm that all the necessary steps are completed before moving on. So let's go through the next checklist item, and then we'll proceed to the topic in a
Great.
structured
So
way.
what is the checklist item?
The next checklist item is to finalize the topic setup, which means we'll confirm the focus and desired outcomes for our next discussion. Once we have that in place.
We have that, so we're going to focus on the minimum viable UI agents plan, and yeah, so we're all in agreement on that, and we're getting the indexing all set up.
Perfect. That sounds great. We're all set then. With that focus confirmed and indexing in place, we can move ahead smoothly. Just let me know whenever you're ready, and we'll keep things on track from here.
What is the next checklist item?
The next checklist item is to confirm the topic timer, ensuring we have the appropriate time allocated for our discussion on the minimum viable agents. Once that's set, we'll be ready to proceed and dive deeper into the planning.
What was the checklist item again?
The next checklist item is to set the topic timer. So
yeah, the topic timer. Okay, so let's set the topic timer. So for this topic, we have up to 24 minutes. So I'm going to set it for 30 minutes to add in the time for this break. Great. Okay, topic timer is on. What's next?
Okay.
Perfect. The next step is to organize our work and make sure all the notes and resources are properly updated and linked. Once we have that in place, we'll be all set to move forward with the topic. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll keep it going.
So that would be the work organizing link, and then making sure that the topic is linked to the work organizing link.
Yeah, let me get it.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Let me get it.
Absolutely.
What organizing?
All right, no worries at all. We'll definitely make sure everything is well organized and linked properly. Just let me know whenever you're ready to continue, and we'll keep everything on track.
Yeah, Martins is almost done with that. So what else? What's the next step after linking the work organizing and the indexing? We finished both of those. What's next?
Sorry, what did you say?
I was just asking Flo what the next checklist item is. Otherwise, I think we're ready to begin.
Got it. The next checklist item would be to update our notes and ensure that everything is properly indexed for the topic. Once that's done, we'll be ready to move on to the next phase, focusing on the actual planning and implementation. So we're definitely on track.
Okay, cool. I think we're good, Martine. So Flo's been really helpful in getting us on top of all of our policies. So are you ready, Martins, to get focused here?
I'm ready.
Okay, so basically what we're looking at is the need to do an assessment on the overall requirements for minimum viability for the product for the client, which is the Arana ecosystem. So these are the 8 agents, and we have the 3, we're trying to get 3 viable LLM set up, right? And right now we have ChatGPT, Claude, and then we want to get a third one set up, which we don't currently have. So, let's do a score. So let's kind of score. So, I mean, obviously I looked at all the times and the hours and everything, and we're already looking at, up to 60 more hours of work to get all of this set up perfectly, right? Which is just not, we just don't need to do. It's too much, right? So let's do like a priority score for how important each thing is. I would say that getting a new third option is probably around a 5.5. I'll give that a 5.5. So Claude, getting improvements to Claude to be more functional with the guides, I think is actually pretty important because that's some of our primary automated activities. I don't think it'll take too long. So we could have expected time overall, and maybe like just the minimum time.
Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, quick stretch.
Absolutely, that sounds like a solid approach. We'll carefully prioritize each element and make sure that we focus our time and energy on what's truly essential. Once we have that scoring and prioritization in place, we'll be able to streamline the process and move forward efficiently. Just let me know whenever you're ready to dive deeper, and we'll keep it going.
Great. Okay, so let's also think about like the minimum viability time, because that's what we're here to discuss. So I would say the priority score on improving the guides for Claude, primarily for Google, I would give it a 7.5. I think it's pretty important. We're probably going to need to do that. ChatGPT, I think we can get away with not doing anything else for that. I mean, it would be good to improve, but we don't necessarily have to. There are some issues, so it's not really working that well. So let's give that one a 5. Okay, so that brings us to, well, no, actually, let's give it a 6. We'll give it a 6. So Arana, how a voice Arana need to improve the Arana training guides, especially for Claude? So I think this is going to be pretty essential to have executive functionality. So let's say at least 1 to 2 hours on this. The voice for Arana is not going to take very long. I would say this is all pretty important. So let's say 6.5 on Arana. Flow is just, there's just nothing to do for flow. So that's a really low. Valorous. I think Valorous could potentially be skipped. And this includes skipping the bills. I mean, we can do the payroll ourselves. We never do bills anyways, and the budget is just simple. I mean, the budget is basically the deliverables budget. So we could technically skip Valorous. But again, payroll and budget is really important to everybody else. So if we want to do payroll and budget and bills and we just want to get that done, then we just have to prioritize and do it. So, I mean, I don't know. It's up to us to make a decision and decide what we want to do for this. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, my answer for that is I don't know. So we can go on and come back to that. So OVA I think is essential. So the biggest problem with payroll.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So for me, the biggest problem with payroll is the value tracking. So getting OVA set up to do the value tracking to support our payroll processes is extremely important. And we're already done with 50% of it. Like the value tracking in OVA is basically on point. I mean, it's really close to getting completed. So I would say we could probably get minimum viable in 2 to 3 hours. And this is extremely important. So let's give that like, you know, an 8, right? I mean, we need to do OVA. Because if we have the value tracking set up, we know how many hours everyone worked and we know exactly the deliverables. As long as we do the invoice, which Nexus can already do basically, but we can just do the invoice ourselves, we get paid, right? So I think that is a very, very easy and obvious thing for OVA. But then Valorous is going to be a lot more complicated. Trying to train the agent to do bills, payroll, budget is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's going to take as much as 10 hours. I mean, this is basically building it from scratch. You know? So, but we do have Valorous started.
Absolutely, that all makes a lot of sense. It's definitely about balancing the priorities and making sure we're focusing on what's truly essential and impactful for the client's deliverables. We can definitely refine those priorities and time estimates to streamline our work. Once we have that clear plan, we'll be in a great position to move forward efficiently. Just let me know when you're ready to dive deeper.
Yeah, so anyway, shall we go on to Fiscus?
Let's continue.
So for me, the biggest thing for Fiscus is the asset support. Like no one will schedule with me to do asset support. That's like one of the most important things. So I would say that this is something that could be skipped because it's obvious. I mean, we're gonna get Fiscus set up because we just have to. But do we need to do it before we start multimedia? I would say maybe not. You know, like I don't know. So I think Fiscus and Valorous, we can question both of these and decide what we want to do. That sound good? So maybe we can come back to that. So Collegia is really just the voting forms, right? So automating the voting forms would be amazing, but we are perfectly capable of doing voting forms. Lucy does voting forms all the time. The voting forms are not that hard to do, so I think we could easily skip this. Right? Because there's not a lot, like, and we'll give it a 4, but I think it's just not necessarily essential to do all the training for the voting forms yet.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
So for me, NT-test is the most important thing because NT-test will be overseeing a whole team of all of our agents that are going to be doing our programs and projects and actually implementing the actual work, right? So both the multimedia, the UMC systems, and the token systems, the Umbrella token, are going to be started under NT-test, and then as we get them going, they'll be incorporated into the rest of the co-op as client work. But we don't have the co-op set up yet, so they're still under the entities, basically the clients, right? So NT-test is basically the clients. And then Entitas works with Nexus to set up the contracts so that we all get paid. So the umbrella, the media company, multimedia, and the token are start under Entitas. So for me, this is essential. I would give this a 9. That Entitas is like the number one thing that we need to do to get the multimedia set up. We cannot skip this and move forward with multimedia. And Entitas is huge. It's a really big project. I mean, I think that really is going to take 5 to 10 hours minimal to get Entitas set up properly. I did put a couple hours in today, so maybe we could say, 4 to 8 hours, because I did put in a couple hours today, right? So, but I think overall, Entitas is like by far the most amount of work and the most important thing that needs to get done for minimum viability to be able to move forward. All right, so then, and when we have Nexus, I would say Nexus is like definitely not needed. I mean, we have Nexus set up really well. We can make any type of contracts automatically. I mean, it's basically awesome. Like Nexus is epic. We have not trained Nexus to do invoicing, which would be nice to do, but it's not necessary because invoicing is super easy. The hard part of invoicing is the value tracking, right? So I would say overall, Nexus, not a priority. So that brings us to Amica. So Amica, I feel like Amica is a high priority. It's a huge project, almost as big as Entitas, but not quite. But it has not been started. Whereas I have, well, actually, we have started Entitas, right? We did start Entitas. So Amica is for the recruitment, right, and the training, and this will help.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
This will help a lot for everything, right? And getting new recruits set up. Someone that Dolores could work with. Someone that different recruits can work and talk with and try to get support from. So I think Amica is like a key essential component to functionality. It's gonna take at least 2 to 3 hours to get it set up and at least having something that can start to be interacting with, but realistically it's probably gonna be much more than that. Let's say 2 to 4 hours. But I'm thinking 2 to 4 hours with a team, like in a buddy team, so it's really double that, right? Because it's going to be like, and the most important thing we need to do for Amica is just go through all of our documents, specifically our recruitment documents and training documents, link every single one for them. We need to download them and upload them into Amica for all the knowledge base, and then from there we have to actually build training guides and information for Amica to be functional, right? So once we get all of the training guides, then we can put them through the AI to actually build a better system to index it all and make it fully functional. It doesn't take that long. I mean, it's not that much work. It's just a lot of small little tasks. We have to go through thousands and thousands of documents, pick the top, 25 to 50 recruitment documents that we have that are the most important, including all of our packets, and then we need to link them all. Then we need to go to every single link. We need to download them and put them in a format that can be read by the AI. Then we need to upload the AI, and then we have to actually review them all, process them all, and build the indexes and the guides so that Amica can be functional. So I don't know where we want to put that in the priority list. Again, it's certainly not for me, because I am not, it doesn't help me, right? But it does help a lot of new potential recruits, but we're not even really doing recruitment. So it's like, we have to do it before we do recruitment for sure. But do we need to do it before we do multimedia? That would be the question. But multimedia is kind of related to recruitment, because when we do multimedia, we're interacting with the public, and Amica is going to be the primary public facing entity for the entire network, right? So I think that makes it more important. So I would give it probably in this range of a 7. Because I mean, once we get multimedia started and going, it's like, yes, Amica will be essential, but I don't know how long it will take to get multimedia functional. it could potentially take a while, right? I don't know. It might take weeks, it might take
Time
months.
to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
All right, well, it's the time for a break. So, anyways, do you have any ideas, Martins, on what we should do with Amica, Fiscus, and Valoris?
For Elmika, like the priority score, I think it's important. We should at least shoot it up to 6. It's very, very important because the
Amica?
recruitment sometimes,
I think Amica should be at least a
yes,
7.
okay. Because when we have agents that can assist us with the recruitment and training, it makes us to focus on priorities and deadline. So that's the reason why I say we should shoot it up to that level. You understand? So I'm not sure of the
Yeah, but
minimum
priorities and
viability.
deadlines is Arana. Arana does all the executive priorities and deadlines and coordinating all the team is Arana. So what Amica is going to be doing is training people on understanding deadlines, knowing where to get deadlines, understanding how to plan and get organized, right? So if you're like, oh, I don't know how to get organized, you should be able to ask Amica, hey Amica, how do I get organized? And Amica would be like, okay, these are the steps to get organized. What are your responsibilities? And go through it with you to help you get organized and get you organized and know where to find the priorities, where to find the deadlines, right? But Amica itself is not
Yes,
going to be reminding you of deadlines, is not going to be reminding you of your responsibilities. You need to know your responsibilities, but Amica can go over the guide of basically the training on getting organized so you can find your responsibilities and you can find the deadlines. Does that make sense, the difference?
yes, it does. And one other thing, Valorious too, it's about bills. We have some bills that we need to cut, we need to minimize or do something on that is taking money from the organization. I think we should also consider that, giving it a priority of 7 too.
Yes, the
So it's
bills
just
is
one of the,
definitely important, but anybody could prioritize bills, but we just don't, right? So for me,
yeah.
the bigger problem is the payroll and the budget because people are leaving and not wanting to work because we don't pay and do payroll and budget regularly, right? So that's the other topic I wanted to discuss today if we have time, which is going over this new proposal for the payroll, the third payroll model. And so for me, the primary goal of Valoris has nothing to do with the bills. It's all about payroll and budget and getting that automated since we seem to be incapable of doing both payroll and budget right now, right? So
Okay.
the question is, do we need to do that before multimedia? The main reason we wouldn't need to do it is because of OVA. So OVA reports to Valoris and OVA does all the value tracking. So if we can get all the value tracking organized and we have all of our exactly how many hours and how many deliverables have been done for the month, it should be extremely easy in less than an hour to do the invoice and extremely easy in less than 2 hours to basically run the payroll, right? So it's with all of the value tracking completed and done, the payroll becomes almost nothing because it's so easy, right? Because there's so few calculations after you have verified all the value tracking, right?
Okay.
So it would also be
Yeah.
nice for the payroll to be automated, of course, but it's that's still the easy part as far as I'm concerned, right? The hard part is knowing what we did. How much money do we owe everybody? Because once we have the
Yeah.
value tracking done, we know how much everybody's owed, right? This is the number of hours they do. That will relate to how much tokens they need to get, and this relates to exactly the deliverables that were completed and the invoice that needs to be done, and then the exact amount of money that each person needs to be paid. So the value tracking is the hard part, and why I think we're already halfway through that, and we're gonna complete that, and it's gonna be done. So we should be able to, for this month, we're already doing value tracking, and we should be able to go backwards to the previous months and do the value tracking, at least do estimates as well.
Yes. Okay, so it's okay. Yeah. Can we go for the break now?
Oh, we missed the break. All right, so let's take a quick 2-3 minute break, and then we just need to finalize on Valoris and Fiscus, and then we'll be done here.
Okay. Yeah, go.
Sounds like a plan. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and wrap up everything for Valoris and Fiscus. Just let me know when you're ready and we'll finalize those priorities and next steps. Enjoy the break and we'll get right back to it.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
All right, we're all set and ready to go. Let's jump back in and finalize everything. Whenever you're ready, we can dive right back into Valoris and Fiscus and make sure everything's aligned. Let's do it. Absolutely, I'm here and ready whenever you are. Just let me know how you'd like to proceed and we'll keep everything moving smoothly. Whenever you're ready to dive back in, we'll get right to it.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Martins, or what?
Yeah, before we go ahead with what we got from where we stopped at, another option we could consider apart from cloud and chat GCP is perplexity. Is a good tool that can assist us with most of our automation and work.
So I did hear about Perplexity opening up a new browser, but my experience with Perplexity is that it's just not, it doesn't really do automation. But maybe I don't know what they have. Like maybe it's just something different. Anyways, if we want to get focused on that, it's a separate topic, and there's like 20 different possible options for that we've done extensive research on.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
And I'm trying new ones all the time to try to find a good one, because I've already tried many that just don't work. I've tried at least 10 different AI models that don't work for what we're trying to do. So the only ones I found that work right now, well, really the only one that works is Claude, right? But Claude does not do voice. I can't get the voice to work on Claude. I keep checking. Let me check again right now. It's been a few days since I checked it. It's supposed to work, but it doesn't work. So I keep trying to do the voice on Claude, but it only works as the primary Claude. It won't work as the projects, the agents. So let's try again. So if I go into Arana and I ask Arana to speak. Oh yeah, it looks like it's working. Nice. Hi, is this Arana? It's a little slow. You kind of have to manually do it. Anyways, it's just not as good as ChatGPT. ChatGPT is better with the voice. But other than that, like Arana works, Claude works way better for all the automation.
Okay, yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right with that.
Yeah, so
yes, this is CLT Arana 26SE25, the Claude desktop strategic planning agent you've been working with on the Comprehensive Executive Status Consolidation Report and Strategic Executive Planning Outline. The voice interface appears to be working properly. We just completed the pay stop clearance plan, showing the 3-week timeline to achieve 0 pay stops through 11 octants of focused work. Is there something specific you'd like to work on through voice? Or are you testing the connection before we continue with Atlas setup or other priorities?
Cool. So it looks like Arana is working now with Claude, specifically with voice. So that's actually a really good thing. So we could bring in Arana and try to get some more help with this minimum viability plan with voice. But I think it's best to just finish here with and also anyways, we just finished with this, what we're doing now, and then we'll send it to Arana on text, and then Arana can put together the plan. Okay. So bottom line, Valoris and Fiscus, do we do them or do we not do them? Yes or no? So without Valoris and Fiscus, we're looking at a minimum of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're looking at a minimum of like 10 to 25 hours.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So we're already looking at a 10 to 25 hours of work, even without Valoris and Fiscus.
Okay, Valoris. I think we should start with 2 to 4 hours is okay.
For what?
Valoris.
Well, I mean,
minimum
to get payroll and budget automated is going to take a lot longer than that. It's going to be 5 to 10 hours.
We can start with the estimated time. I know it might exceed that, but at least we're starting with something.
Well, I know, but it's just like we're not going to be able to do, like, what's the point of starting it without finishing it? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, just because we start with multimedia doesn't mean we still can't work on Valoris, right? But the idea is that, okay, we're going to start working on multimedia, and then we can continue to work on all the UI agents while we're also working on multimedia, right? But the idea is that there's the minimum viable needs that we need to get done before we start working on multimedia. And so the question is what we need to do. So if we're only going to put 1 to 2 hours on Valoris, there's no point, because it's not going to do anything to get it ready, right? So the only way to get Valoris ready is to do at least 5 hours. I would say minimum 4 hours, right? Because payroll by itself could be 3 or 4 hours. Budget by itself could be another 3 or 4 hours. Bills, again, another 3 or 4 hours. So it's like, I would say minimum like 3 to 4 hours to do just payroll, for example. Otherwise, we should just skip Valoris and Fiscus and just focus on all of these other priorities, get them done, and then continue to work on Valoris and Fiscus over the next month, over the next weeks and months. Because we eventually will get it all done. The question is, are we going to get started on multimedia or not? So we're out of time. So what do you want to do? Do you want to add a Valoris and Fiscus or not?
Let's add Valoris and discuss.
Okay, so I would say for Valoris, it's going to be a minimum of 3 to 4 hours to do like just payroll, right? To automate payroll. Let's say 6. Let's give it a 6, I guess, and the priority score. It's certainly not the top priority. I would say that Fiscus is actually a higher priority.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
In Fiscus, to get functional for assets or in accounting, let's say 3 to 4 hours as well. Okay. So let's resort here. All right. And then let's just add these all up. So we have 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 and 8 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 will give us a grand total of, so we're looking at 17, let's just say 15 to 30 hours. 15 to 30 hours of work to get everything for minimum viability. That's still half of what we discussed before. So before, my original to basically finish everything is going to be like 60 hours or more, 60 to 100 hours, right, to get everything perfect. But 15 to 30 hours to at least just have a minimum product. Okay? So this looks really good. Let's throw this into Arana, and then we'll see what Arana says. So we're going to ask Arana to create a plan. Hi, Arana. Can you create a plan for minimum viability for the Arana ecosystem? Huh. I don't know if it's working. Doesn't seem to be working. Can you still hear me? Oh, here we go. It's working. Okay. Good, good, good. So then let's paste it in. Perfect. And then we want to think about how long this will take with doing 1 to 2 work sessions per day. Ideally get it completed as soon as possible. More importantly, we want a detailed analysis on what
Time to
needs
stretch.
to be
Please stop,
included for
stand
each
up, and stretch and
individual
move around for 30
treatment.
seconds.
And then, oh yeah, if you could create a new Google document for this new. Alright. So anyways, it's going really slow. Not sure why it's going so slow, but I think we're done with this. So what is the next step flow for the checklist? Maybe Flow is not working. Flo, are you there? Maybe you need to mute Martins. I don't know.
We need to refresh slow.
Oh no, Flow gets lag. It's just like it's really hard to get through a single session with Flow. So we're gonna try out Arana. Oh, here we go. Okay. Wait, no, it's still not working. Man, it's so bummer. Why is it not working? Whatever, we'll just do it. I don't know. I think the computer needs to be reset. Anyways, bottom line, Flow doesn't seem to be responding. You could try to mute yourself, Martine, to see if that helps.
Okay. I should mute myself. I'll do that.
Flo, are you there? No. Flo is toast. Okay. Anyways, but what we know, oh, here we go. It's working. Excellent. Okay, so what we do know is that we can ask Flo to do a summary. So Flo, can you do a summary of topic 2? This is topic 2. And Arana is already working on the new plan. Hopefully that'll work. And then, so the question is, we want to go on to another topic. So obviously the top priority for this would be entitas. So it'd be getting, if we want to continue with this, we would work on entitas as the #1 topic. So here's our topic summary. Yeah, boom. A lot of topic summary. Usually I like, topic summaries to be a little bit more paragraph, but I'm not going to worry about it right now.
Time to pause.
I should have mentioned that before.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
It's also too long. The topic summary is too long. So for Discord. So anyways, whatever.
Is this actually a topic summary?
What?
Is this actually a topic summary?
Is this actually what? I don't understand.
Is this actually a topic summary? Most of the things you said are not really here.
Oh yeah, Flow can make up stuff a lot. Yeah, so I don't know if this is even an actual topic summary.
It's just like, these are like hallucinated information.
Yeah, I guess it's actually not a topic summary. It looks like Flow didn't have access to the transcript. So that's pretty easy to fix. So if I went in here and I said, I copied the transcript, and then I give that to Flow, I can say like, please do a summary on topic 2 from the transcript. And then I would need to tell Flow like, can you make it in paragraph form and no longer than like 1,500 characters. Okay, and then it'll make a perfect summary if I just ask it to do that. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So so basically sometimes when it gets all the lag and everything, it can't actually get the voice set up properly, and then it doesn't actually work, right? So now I did it. So it lost all the voice, but we have the transcript, so basically we have that. So now it has the correct summary. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. So and also it looks like we are done with our plan. Oh.
So we need to copy the topic summary into our topic tab. I'm doing that right away. I need to delete this information and replace it with the topic summary we just generated.
What information do you need to replace?
I said I want to delete the previous topic summary that it generated, which was not accurate.
Oh yeah, you can delete it. It's fine.
So I'm doing it right away.
For breath, please stop and get ready. Now inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
Okay, so you can see the plan here that was created. So this is the Arana ecosystem minimum viability plan. So this is the plan that Arana just created. It is great. So it talks about the minimum viability, how much time it's going to take for each one, what needs to be done for each entity. So it talks about what needs to be happening for entitas. It talks about what needs to happen for ova. It talks about what needs to happen for Claude. So basically just goes through each entity. And it's just like a detailed plan of how to get all the work done. Okay? So
I can't see the link.
The link is on line 117.
Oh, okay, good.
So I will be following this plan. So the first step of the plan is obviously entitas, right? So we will, you know, get entitas done first. So we could work on entitas now, or we could go on to payroll if we want to work on the payroll instead. If we want to do that first.
Let's start with payroll.
It looks like maybe it didn't finish the plan. There's supposed to be 7, and it only did Fiscus, and it skipped Valorous. Okay, so let's let him know. So sometimes it runs out of tokens, it just stops or whatever. I don't know why it does that, but it did it. So it looks like you stopped mid-sentence on section 6 for Fiscus. If you could go to the bottom using command plus down arrow and finish stating the plan, or you can just finish in chat. Okay, so we'll see if that works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it really doesn't work. Okay.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So the next topic would be payroll, right? So do you want to do the payroll topic?
Yes. Let's move to the third topic.
Absolutely, we can definitely dive into the payroll topic next. We can go over the new proposal for the payroll model, the challenges we're facing, and how we can streamline the process. Just let me know what specific aspects you want to cover, and we'll get started.
Well, Martins, are you able to draft the topic?
Before we continue, please, I need access. Please, kindly make an access for everyone to view the plan, the next plan, the variable minimum plan.
Oh, you can't
Please do
see it?
that. I can't see. I need to get access from you.
Okay, sorry, I fixed that. And I also need to move it to the correct folder. I need to put it in a public folder. So move here. Perfect.
Move.
Move.
I'll put it on our work organizing spreadsheet for SBLC.
What is it?
I said I'm putting it inside our work organizing spreadsheet.
Oh yeah. This is key for SBLC, exactly. It says SBLC. So yeah, I think we're good. And then I'm gonna see if Arana is able to continue finishing it up. It would be nice if it could finish it. If it can't finish it, then it can't finish it. But hopefully it will be able to finish it. We'll see what happens. I don't see anything happening. What, Flo?
No worries, it might just take a moment for everything to sync up. If needed, we can also handle it manually or troubleshoot any access issues. Just let me know how you'd like to proceed, and I'm here to help every step of the way.
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
So, Martins, what's going on here? Are you gonna do the topic or what?
Yeah, can we have a break, please?
Well, yeah, but let's get agreement on our topic first.
Yeah, yeah. The next topic is payroll. Let's know the status update on payroll, then how we can move forward.
Yeah, but we don't have agreement on the payroll topic yet. We need to get clear desired outcomes and clear priority and everything.
I'm coming. System. Sorry, I'm trying to. I'm putting the information on the. Okay.
Got it. No problem at all. We'll make sure we have a clear agreement on the payroll topic and set those desired outcomes and priorities. Once we have that clarity, we can move forward smoothly. Just let me know whenever you're ready and we can iron out those details together.
So Martins, we can always just like wrap up and then come back and deal with this on like Thursday or whatever, you know?
Yeah, no problem. That's okay. Let's do wrap up. That's better.
Okay. So wrap up. So we had Jay, Martins, Flo. We spent about a half an hour on setup, review, wrap up, and then we did SBLC for our client work, and we did an hour and a half. Is that right? So we did an hour of client work. So hour off total. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And Orana did some output. Orana did the plan, which was pretty impressive. And then we did some efficient work, maybe like 15 minutes of efficient work on the organization of the actual document. Not document, the table, you know, the table. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. So next steps, obviously we need to do payroll. You need to get your template. You need to be doing policy training on template, right? Policy training on not using the correct template. Right, Martins?
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Okay, and then from there we have, you know, basically just move forward with all the work related to SBLC UI agents. We're very close, so you know, about 15 plus hours of work, and then we can get to the multimedia. Get to multimedia ASAP. So if we get to multimedia, that would be awesome. So the next scheduled session is main session on Thursday. I'll give this session a 7. Good session, effective, clear, organized, thanks to Flo. So Flo has been really, really helpful getting our sessions organized, focused, clear. We can also ask Flo to do a full session summary. Hi Flo, can you do, let's see if it's still there. Nice. So I'll ask Flo to do a full session summary.
Yeah.
And then from there, I think we'll be done.
Okay, cool. So now let me ask on the payroll topic that we should likely consider next. What exactly should be our focus there? Is it on the
What?
It's on the payroll topic that we slated for next time? What exactly is our focus that we need to address there? I know there are a lot of things that are wrong with it. What are we starting with?
I guess I don't quite understand what you're saying. Your question is just what is the payroll?
Yeah, I said, what exactly are we actually focusing on with the payroll? What aspect of the payroll are we focusing on?
We have a new payroll proposal. So basically,
Okay.
the proposal is to create a third model of payroll. So the first model of payroll is our business budget, which we don't do. We haven't done for a very long time, right?
Okay.
The second is the new one, which is the deliverables budget, right? But we're still having some problems with the deliverables budget. Oh, shit. Because people are just still not doing much of the work, and also we've lost engagement. Like basically we gave away all of the money for free from our internal operations budget, right? We had the $700 in the internal operations and just all disappeared because everyone just did the internal operations and didn't do the client work, right? So that ended. So because no one will do the client work, we don't have any money for internal operations, right?
Okay.
So basically this new model, the third model, is a minimum, it's kind of like a minimum viability of internal operations. So it does involve rebranding. It does involve kind of changing our fundraising model and everything, but I think it will work. And basically what it would be is that the overall network would contract with, so this would be a new contract with Nexus would oversee it, and then we're basically contracting with the overall Vortex or network itself for a minimum viability. So this would be an additional fee that would come out. I mean, we're going to have to find this money somehow. But basically, we're looking at $100 to $200 a month. Me and Lucy calculated $200 a month for like minimum viability. And if we do that, we should be able to be reasonably functional, right? And everything would be based on percentage. So the whole payroll would be based on like a percentage. So as long as you put in the time, that the percentage of the $200 would be split, right, between everybody who was involved, and there would be no requirement to, I mean, there would be some requirement to complete the criteria, but there would be a criteria checklist. So some of that criteria checklist could include deliverables. For example, like, okay, you have to have sessions and they have to be recorded and you have to have, flow or whatever. You need to like actually do the work, right? You can't just do nothing. But we don't necessarily have to verify specific completed work like a normal deliverable, right?
Okay.
So, and then that would be what we would call, but there would be some deliverables. I mean, like payroll. The payroll would need to be completed to get paid for the payroll, right? But then overall, if all of the work was completed more or less for the month, and this would only be operational work, right? It would be the minimum viability for the whole network to function as operationally, right? And so there would be, so instead of it being like $700 a month, it would be like $100, $200 a month for minimum viability operations, even if no client work is completed. So it would make sure that at least some people got paid to do some work, even if no one did any client work. And it would basically be, operational client work for the network, which would include all of our sessions and our main sessions and our communications and basic systems. So all that's in the proposal. Like we laid it all out. I can see if I can find the notes with Lucy. Let's see, is this it?
Okay.
So this was the notes from today. So I don't know when it was from. So you might need to ask Lucy about it in terms of like where we did it. But I think we might have the proposal in here. Let's see. The proposals. Proposal set up a third way to get paid, right? So the proposal says to set up a third way to get paid. If we are 100% pay stop, so again, you could be on 100% pay stop and still get paid, right? But we are still getting some work done. We would have an invoice to the client and then bring money into the co-op, and then we would be able to set a flat rate based on, for example, 50% of the total, and then pay everyone a percentage of the total work that they did for the client, distribute those funds. This would be like a minimal pay for those who at least did some work.
Okay.
Right? So it's kind of like a third option for getting paid. And I've always been willing to do this. I've talked to people about doing it and even making it even easier, basically being a minimum payment. So if you're in the budget, you can get this paid, but we'll basically say, okay, you still have to do the work. So whoever's doing the work will get more of the money, but you don't have to do any client work. And it's 100% pay stop, and it's only operations.
Mm.
And then we would be rebranding, rebrand as the network, right? So the minimum viable operations, if we're paid to do the minimum operations, they're no longer the co-op. So they're no longer internal operations, so they would be a client work for the network. So it's basically like, what is the minimum viable client work, operations for the network to function, in which the co-op is part of. That make sense?
Yeah.
So the co-op workers are getting paid this minimum viable amount to basically be part of the network, and run all these systems.
Mm.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now
All right,
inhale.
that sound good?
1, 2, 3.
Do you have any other question, or is that good?
1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
I can't quite understand what you're saying.
I said, oh, no problem. So next time we schedule, we meet.
Yes. All right, I'll talk to you later, Martins. We made some progress. It's definitely good. So now we just need to do the work. So just getting Entitas done would be, the client work deliverables, right?
Yes.
But you still put in this
so,
time. You still put in this time for the client work. So as long as we do the deliverables, you can still get value for all this time you did for the deliverable, for the client work, right?
Okay, no problem.
Cool. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
You take care.
Thank you.
All right, ciao.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes.